Hey there. Popping on today. I was supposed to pop on last night to talk about anxiety in a little more depth, about the impact it has on our physical health. But we had a late night and then an emergency room visit for my daughter, but that is life. So, on here today to dig into that topic. What I wanted to bring to your attention today is when people think about anxiety, they think about the mental capacity, the impact it can have on us with the mental stability, our ability to engage in everyday life. We think about social anxiety, just a lot of different things, but only thinking about the mental aspect. But anxiety isn't just an abstract state of being. Anxiety is a physical process that also has physical symptoms. And the reason I want to bring your attention to this is when it comes to anxiety, for people who have never experienced it, they can't quite understand the impact that it has on us. It can be debilitating. Yes, mentally, it makes us want to cancel our coffee dates with girlfriends. It makes us want to withdraw and isolate so that we don't have to be around people, because in social settings, those of us that have anxiety can so easily be triggered and it can escalate really, really quickly. But it's more than what's taking place in our thinking. It's more than the mental capacity only. So I've got some notes here because things I wanted to make sure that I was absolutely able to capture for you today. Talking about the effects of untreated anxiety. So right now, studies show 18.1% of Americans have anxiety. That's a huge number, but I'm telling you right now, that does not even touch the actual cases that are undiagnosed of anxiety. There are so many people out there suffering from anxiety, and because of shame, because of embarrassment, because of guilt, because of the fear of being judged and criticized, they don't speak up, they don't speak out, they don't reach for or invite help in. And as a result, they're living a life that just was not designed for them. So, when we think about understanding the physical implications of anxiety, my hope, my prayer is that it will motivate you to ask for help, to have conversations, to figure out what other things can be done to help alleviate the power that anxiety has over you and in your life. So, it can be improved. I live with anxiety every day. A majority of my clients are functioning well with anxiety, so it can be done. And I'm sure you've seen me going through it the past couple of days, but there are things that I do that I constantly teach you and talk to you about, and I consistently implement them in my own life to get through an episode of anxiety, because it's an episode. It's not a permanent residence. It's not a life sentence. It's not the final destination. It's temporary, it's a circumstance, and you will get through it. But let's get into the physical aspects. So people who suffer from anxiety, and you should know this if you have it, will experience an increase in your heart rate. That puts us at an increased risk for heart disease, which includes stroke and heart attack. So you got to pay attention to this, all right? It's linked to irritable bowel syndrome and other gastrointestinal disorders. That's a tongue twister. So this may sound a little gross, but how many times have you been scheduled to go somewhere to do something and you end up with diarrhea and you're sitting on the toilet? Let's be honest. Your stomach will get so worked up. Your mind is convincing you and allowing the anxiety to get you so worked up that you can end up with a medical condition that is IBS. That in itself doesn't want to make you go out because you feel like you're an inconvenience because you have to stop and use the bathroom. You feel like you're an inconvenience because wherever you are, one of the first things you need to know, the main priority of getting somewhere is knowing where the restroom is. That's no way to live. You deserve better than that. There is a connection between anxiety and depression and the colon and nervous system. It has an impact. So you can have IBS and not have anxiety, absolutely. But You can have anxiety that triggers the onset of IBS. It can be treated. It can be managed. It can make breathing problems worse. Who knows what it feels like to have that elephant sitting on your chest when you're getting so worked up, you are anxious, the anxiety's been triggered, and you feel like you can't breathe. You're trying to take a deep breath, but you can't. You can't. Mentally, the anxiety is going on, but it is physically manifesting itself in your inability to take a deep breath. Now, you have anxiety and you have asthma, which is already a compromised breathing pattern. Do you see the implications there? It can be managed. It can be treated. If it's from anxiety and depression only, then you can get professional help to help alleviate that. You deserve that. It can be damaging to your kidneys and blood vessels. It causes short-term spikes to your blood pressure. When your heart is racing, you can feel your heart rate increase. For me, I now have the Fitbit that my daughter gave me. There are times when I can almost see my heart beating, like the pulse in my wrist. I'll feel it like really intensify. And I'll look at this and I'm like, holy cow, like my heart rate is really elevated. I'll be conscious of it and I will focus in, take some intentional deep breaths, ground myself, find someone or something that can help settle me, whether it's cuddling with my puppy and rubbing her ears, running my hand through, the hair on her tail, or grabbing a hold of my husband for a really tight hug, or one of my girlfriends, one of my tribe members, and just saying, hey, I'm not okay. And those are things that I implement. Those are things I encourage you to implement that will help you. It'll slow your breathing. It will reduce your heart rate. It will calm you down. It will settle you. Insomnia. Oh my gosh. When you go to bed, you can be so exhausted, but the mind is racing and it won't shut off. It's chaos and it's a mess. Like you can't identify one thing in the thought process. You can't organize it. You can't gain control of it because it's overwhelming. And it's like being in a wave where you're just getting tossed and tossed and tossed. You don't know which way is up or down, and you can't figure out how to get out of it. That will make it impossible for you to rest. It will make it impossible for you to sleep. And then you're not sleeping. So then you're physically exhausted, which makes you more anxious. The more anxious you are, the more vicious the cycle is. You deserve to rest. You deserve to rest. Your body needs that to recoup, to rejuvenate, to repair itself, to get ready for what's next. The bottom line is, claiming there's no physical manifestations as a result of anxiety is an absolute lie. It's false. Studies are moving in the direction to prove that there is a direct correlation between having anxiety and these things that I've mentioned to you today. There is a direct correlation. Not necessarily causation, but there is a correlation. You can have anxiety and also end up with these other things. So I want you to be aware, anxiety is a serious condition. Anxiety is real. Do not let someone tell you you don't need to be anxious. You know what? I am. Validate it, honor it, spend time recognizing it. But what I want you to do instead of letting it control you, document what's going on around you. What have you eaten? What have you had to drink? What's missing in your diet? Have you slept well? What things are surrounding you at the time? What noises are you hearing? What is the stimuli that's around you? Because there may be triggers that you can change. Be aware. Be aware, because you deserve to live a life where you are thriving and joyful. You're dreaming and achieving, and you're growing and learning and becoming all of these things that were intended for you. I have anxiety. I suffer from anxiety. Yes, I'm owning it. I'm not ashamed of it anymore. Do I get frustrated? Absolutely. Do I get really pissed off about it some days when I have plans and it just grabs me? Absolutely. But that's why I want to speak to you, because I'm doing things to get me on the other side of it. Those things work. I've created a system that works, and I want you to have that in your hands. These are rise up power tools that you need to have because you deserve to get on the other side of it. But you have to choose that. Will it be easy? No. Will it be fun? No. Will it be hard freaking work? Absolutely. Will you have to do it time and time again? You bet. But is it worth it? Yes. You are worth it. You matter, and you were created with intention and purpose to live a life of intention and purpose. There's something significant inside of you, and anxiety is telling you you can't. You're not good enough. You can't go out. What if? That's all crap. We need to bust through those chains so that you can flourish. Let me help you. Let others help you. Reach out to the right people, reveal so it can be healed, and you can get on the other side of it because that's what you deserve. All right, make sure you're following us on Instagram and Facebook. Read the post, like the post, comment on the post, engage, because I am always showing up raw, real, and authentic. I know there are some people out there that think I'm too aggressive, I'm too much. That's okay. That's okay. I'm not for everybody, but I am for the woman who says, I am finally ready to break the chains of anxiety and flourish in my life, in my relationships, in my career. That's who I am right for. That's who God wants me to reach. If that's you, message me. If that's you, send me a text, an email, Facebook, Instagram, call me. I will step into battle with you. I will come up alongside you, and together we will get you to the other side of this. That is a promise that God made to me. That is a promise that I am making to you. And with God and what He has done for me in my life and how He's using my story, I know you can get here too. All right, that's it for today. Please share. Invite your friends to follow. Don't make them feel that they're not enough. Don't let them believe that they're not worthy. Don't make them feel as though that thought of being alone is true. You have the power to change the trajectory of their life. You have the power to do that. And I need you to help me and Rise and God reach these women. All right, that's it. Choose to rise up, bring another woman with you, find things that bring you joy, and do more of those things. Get out, enjoy the sunshine, move your body, drink the damn water, do things for you because you matter. Love yourself well. Show up in your life. You deserve every ounce of it. All right, make today a great one. See ya.